Hey, what's up? It's me, back after a week. Um, yeah, I'm back soon, baby. Still with an inconsistent posting schedule. Let's freaking go, I guess. But I have iced tea with me, so I'm just gonna. You'll hear the ice clinking in the recording. I know this because I recorded an improv demo for somebody. Well, just not for somebody, for me, but I used it um to help somebody with their audition of that character, and I could hear the ice clinking. I'm a chronic iced tea drinker, what can I say? Now what's on the yapology list for me today? I'm being self-indulgent. This is a statement in the Revolutionary War times. Because back when I was in the 6th grade, I was annoying. And I was one of those people who really, really liked Hamilton. That is the entire reason the statement exists. For me. But, I mean, like, who else is it for? The people like it. But, speaking of you, the people, hello, hi, yes, you can't see me, but I just waved. Would we rather have 30 episodes and 6 seasons? Well, 30 episodes per season and 6 seasons. Or the traditional Magnus, 40 with 5 seasons. Because, like, I formatted it to 30 at first, and I was like, not enough parallels. Yes, there will be parallels. My writers, my co-writers certainly know it. There are parallels because I'm insane. But then I was like, this isn't matching the parallels. So I decided to reformat it to 40 episodes. And another reason I did that was because, like, nothing made sense. Like, I would just write things down with the statement in mind and then immediately forget about it. It's so embarrassing. Anyway. Yeah, so what would we prefer? Let me know down below. And I also recently listened to one of the interviews that Alex Newell and Jonathan Sims did. Found out their stance on fanworks finally. So Magnus Archives, Magnus Archives, Magnus Archives. I meant to say it as much as possible. Not like I'm getting paid, I don't care. But, well, I do care. Go check out the original podcast, please! It's really good! And, like, half my inspiration. But, yeah, this is episode 4, Infection. Enjoy.
Of course, we just had to have a criminal come in and make a statement. Of course, why wouldn't it be us, the guys who work with the supernatural? Now, everyone's behind it. It's all my fault, so they couldn't see that it was copied. Then the police had to come in and interview everyone, meaning we were more behind and... Okay, fine. Okay, I can work with this. I can beat days behind. Everything is fine. Nothing is going to happen. Nope, nothing bad will happen whatsoever. That small voice in my head making me feel guilty all the time is wrong, and nobody will die because of me. Yeah, just remember what Angela said. Work on your breathing. Calm. Good, Sage. Positive affirmations. Statement of Petunia Lee regarding her experience as a nurse during the Revolutionary War. Original statement transcribed direct from subject by one Jonah Magnus on 10th September 1820. Brought to audio by Sage Newbert, head archivist of the Magnus Institute, previously stationed in London, but moved to Hastings in 2021. Statement begins. You see all kinds of things during war. Everything from infected wounds to a man's entire arm shot off with only a musket. I believe a gentleman got his upper lip stuck in his horse's reins. But I don't believe I've seen something quite like what I did. The young soldier, Keaton Knightley, roughly 22, came straight from college to war. Poor fool probably thought he could make a Hamilton of himself. Most did. The head doctor was some kook by the name of Colton Key, always absorbed in the peculiarities of human anatomy. I wasn't particularly fond with him, and we clashed rather frequently. He ordered a mandatory dissection. All the other nurses were attending to the wailing idiots barely fighting for our country. So me and another nurse, Agnes McDougall, watched him. We weren't allowed to touch the equipment because we were unfortunately women. The body wasn't unsightly, but something felt off. It felt coated in something. Sand, most likely. His body seemed to be eating him? The skin was shriveled and dead, yet his face appeared peaceful. Too peaceful. I could have sworn I saw it smiling. Dr. Key plunged open scissors into the chest cavity, tracking down. What came out wasn't blood. Lord, I do not even have the words to describe what it was. It was black, pure black, thick and almost ooze in consistency. Hardly looked like blood at all. Once the body was cleanly split, dust expelled in the doctor's face. He cried in agony, and I wondered what the fuss was. Mushrooms. It was mushrooms. All in Knightley's heart, Agnes told me. In the walls of his skin, blackening everything they touched. We didn't know how to classify the illness, so our patients were the patients who cried plague. God, how I wish it was. I saw the doctor writhe, opening his mouth to speak, but his teeth fell. More of the white fungus growing in their place. Then I watched it take the rest of him. His eyes, ear canals, the rest of his mouth, any open surface grew mushrooms in its place. Agnes and I had no idea what to do. Our doctor was dying, expelling spores too close to the patients so we could no longer evacuate them. Now they were growing mushrooms on God knows where, and we couldn't do anything. I pulled Agnes out of there, running out into the battlefield where we saw every one of our soldiers becoming mummified mushroom corpses, lying down limp on the dirt paths, sinking into infected red coats and horse manure. We tried to tell them, the Americans, but they acted as if we were mad and tried to blow our heads off, only for the bullets to be covered in wiggling, wispy fungi. It took one man in front of us, Lawrence McCafferty. It extended out from the gun's barrel and wrapped backward onto his arm. Other soldiers ceased fire to try and help the poor lad, but there wasn't much they could do after its grip tightened. At least his process was faster than the others. It was a massacre. We had to call off the war, agreeing to give Americans their independence. In truth, we didn't want whatever that was to be our problem. Good luck, Americans of the future. I still remember how Dr. Key and the others were once they passed, falling over like limp pieces of wood if they were upright. I don't recommend anybody visit old battlegrounds for their safety. I have a theory this disease, whatever it was, came from the deep trenches, ones that coated trousers knee-deep in mud. The only thing from this incident that I have retained was the occasional nightmare or vivid feverish hallucination of Dr. Key, though that's all that remains of my trauma. Feel free to contact Magnus on the matter. I'm sure she'd love to ramble about her abridged horror tale. Thank you for your time, Mr. Magnus. The statement ends. Well, that was certainly a statement. It had words, despite my rather mixed feelings. This seems like a good time to declare fungal infection. Something like this happened after a young man emerged from a dust storm. Paramedics said that any skin they'd cut would die off, and the fungi would latch onto the fresher, more delectable pieces. I'm not sure what the specific fungi is called, though, but I'll update the case file once I've received more information. Regardless, the spread of spores and the severity of the disease rule out any common factors. It is frighteningly similar to things recited in London fiction, but that's just me being an nerd. Though this helps in ruling out plague. Overall, no further notes on this statement, considering all the leads are likely dead, and even with our progression in modern medicine, I doubt that many doctors could say what I haven't already. Statement ends. The date is 5th February 2025. Sage Newbert updating case file 77223151305. Original statement recorded on 1st February 2025. Begin supplemental. Something about this statement felt off. Incomplete, even. So before I handed it to David, I decided to do some more digging. At first, I believed that the parasite was some form of ringworm or tapeworm, but it didn't make sense with the spores. So, days of digging later has led me to histoplasmosis. In summary, the condition is caused by someone inhaling spores that are commonly found in bird and bat fecal droppings. This is most likely a case of the condition being too far gone for the nurses to do anything. That possibility is aided in the lack of medical understanding. Conclusion: this was just a poor fellow struck with parasite after parasite. Mushrooms, though, that was another story. According to the drawings provided by Mrs. Lee, the mushrooms described look similar to the Flammulina filiformis or the Amanita verosa. Given the right environment, most mushrooms can grow anywhere. Unfortunately for us, the comforting warmth of a sick human body would be enough for it. There was also the possibility of aspergillosis, but I later realized that Mrs. Lee was not referring to something mushroom-shaped, but rather actual mushrooms. Mr. Magnus's notes also mentioned a few scribbled out bits of text, but from what little I could read, he believes it checks every mark on the supernatural checklist. Sorry, Tuna, but it only checks about a third of my boxes. And supplemental.
Hey, y'all. So funny story. Oh, I forgot to close my Discord again. Anyway, I totally grabbed the wrong intro, so this is the right one. I learned this because I was frantically emailing KJ because I have a habit of like deleting emails for like storage and all that. I just like everything neat and clean. And I was like, oh crap, I totally deleted the email that had the intro in it, and I was just frantically emailing KJ like, I need this, please. And then eventually I found it in my Google Drive, but it wasn't the right one. It was just the piano part. It didn't have like that fun synth that you heard, like I forget what I didn't listen to it. Anyway, so yeah, yeah, basic legality stuff in the description. We do not own and are not affiliated with the Magnus Archives. We are not making money off of their epic podcast. I'm so unserious. I'm sorry. Well, hope you enjoyed and see you next time. I almost said see you next year. Oh my god, what am I doing?